Having a good day. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins. Welcome to drboycetv.com, the home for intelligent Black people. Some of you may be watching from the Black Financial Channel. I want to say welcome to you also. Bitcoin just hit another record today. Everybody who owns Bitcoin, congratulations. Merry Christmas. You just got paid. Good for you. Good for you. Good for you. If you own Bitcoin, then today is a good day for you. Everybody who's bought Bitcoin or any form of crypto, raise your hand, say something in the chat. I'm really happy for you because you're probably the richest person in your family right now. Now, is that always going to be the case? I don't know. Sometimes being an investor means you're going to be the brokest person in your family. But we're going to talk about Bitcoin and what's going on with Bitcoin. And so get comfortable, hit the thumbs up button, share button, subscribe button. We're going to get started on the Black Financial Channel right now. Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins. Welcome to the Black Financial Channel. That's theblackfinancialchannel.com. We talk about financial literacy, Black economic issues, and we talk about everything from a Black perspective. We are Black first. That's it. We're not here for anybody else. If you are not Black, you can be here, but just know the Black community is going to come first. Black wealth, racial wealth gaps, all that stuff. We've already solved those problems. Now we're just implementing the solution. We already know when our real reparations are coming, not our reparations, our real reparations, because we are going to fix it ourselves. We can do this. All right, so hit the thumbs up button, share button, subscribe button, and let's talk about Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin, I'm just going to tell you all a little secret. I'm just going to be honest with you. I'm going to be talking about Bitcoin about 2 or 3 times a week, every week, for about 3 or 4 years. The reason I really believe that I'm going to be talking about Bitcoin all the time, so much to the point where you're going to be like, oh, man, this guy's talking about Bitcoin again. And the reason I'm going to talk about Bitcoin a lot is because all indicators, every measuring stick I can think of tells me that Bitcoin is just the most predictable, simplest wealth building, money making machine out there right now. Bitcoin, it just hit 54,000 today. Give me a yes or no in the chat if you knew that Bitcoin hit 54,000. Give me a yes or no in the chat. And also, those of you who are watching on my Twitch channel, on Twitch, I'm at Dr. Boyce Watkins. So I go back and forth between talking about stocks and blowing people's heads off in Call of Duty. So you can follow me on Twitch if you want to. Some of you are there right now. I just like talking about it because I think crypto is super exciting. I think crypto is very, very exciting. And the word for today on crypto, and the reason why I think crypto is going to be great is because people think it's going to be great. It's like in Peter Pan, you know, when they asked Peter or something, or they asked the fairy Tinkerbell, they said, do fairies exist? And she said, fairies exist if you believe that they exist. If you believe that they exist, then fairies exist. Well, what does that mean? Well, Bitcoin's going to blow up because people believe Bitcoin's going to blow up. Bitcoin's going to blow up because people believe Bitcoin is going to blow up. I keep repeating myself because that's what it is. It's really that simple. It's really that simple. Here's the deal. The word, if I was going to pick a word for the day, the word for today will be FOMO. FOMO stands for fear of missing out. Fear of missing out. Why does FOMO matter when it comes to Bitcoin? Well, because basically the way these fund managers work and the way these corporate types work, you guys know I've been a finance professor a long time. I've thought about the mindset of corporate types and fund managers and how that differs from you and I, from regular people. Well, fund managers and corporate leaders, they have a FOMO thing where they end up following the crowd because they don't want to miss out and they don't want to not be there when it happens. As I've told you guys, the reason I invest in crypto is not because I know for sure what's going to happen. I do it because I want to be there when it happens. If something happens and I'm not there, I'm going to be annoyed and I'm going to have FOMO. Right. So FOMO drives a lot of what might be referred to as herding behavior. So type FOMO in the chat. Type FOMO in the chat if you get what I'm saying. FOMO kind of comes into play because everybody's seeing this. Everybody's seeing that Bitcoin just hit 54,000 today. Remember, 2 weeks ago, we were marveling over the fact that it hit 45,000 or something. Now we're at 54. And then at some point, we're going to probably hit 60, and then 65, and then 70, and 75, 80. And I told you my prediction for Bitcoin when the gentleman of crypto came on this platform, my prediction was $108,718.32 on January 1st. Don't ask me why Jesus gave me that number. That it's just in my brain, and I'm part psychic. I don't know if y'all know that or not. I really am. So here's the deal. When you talk about Bitcoin and what's going on with Bitcoin, that FOMO piece is what's going to drive the growth in the price. Everybody's watching it. Bitcoin just hit 54,000. Also, simultaneously, you may not know this, but Bitcoin just hit $1 trillion in market value. Bitcoin just hit $1 trillion in market value. Now, break this down, like process this. You can't name one single thing on this planet that is worth $1 trillion that isn't going to get a ton of attention. Yeah, there's nothing on earth worth $1 trillion that you can name that isn't getting the attention of all the big money people, because one of the rules of big money people is they go where the money's at. So the fact that Bitcoin is this $1 trillion pot of gold, and they call it digital gold, they're comparing it to gold because it's a scarce supply and people believe it could be a hedge against inflation, which we know is coming. The Fed's already tripping out because because bond yields are starting to go up and inflation's starting to kind of creep in. Janet Yellen, the Treasury Secretary, just came in and pushed for more stimulus, which means they're going to start printing more money, which is going to add to the inflationary the inflationary issues that we already have. Which guess what? What does that do? Boom! Bitcoin keeps going up. Bitcoin keeps going up. So Bitcoin hits 54,000. It's worth $1 trillion. In the last hour, I think Bitcoin's gone up about 0.5% to 1%. In the last day, it's gone up about 5%. In the last week, maybe it's gone up 25% or something. I got to go check the number. But in the last month, it's gone up almost 50%. Almost 50% in a month. So Bitcoin is not playing. Bitcoin is not slowing down, in my view. It would take an act of God to stop Bitcoin's rise right now. If we sit back and let the market work, you really could be looking at Bitcoin of over 100,000 by the end of the year. You could be looking at numbers as high as 200,000, 250,000 at some point in the very near future. So with that said, hit the thumbs up button, share button, subscribe button. If you haven't done that yet, please do that. Also, drboycecrypto.com. If you want to see my crypto portfolio and what I bought, I've made that available to everybody. Just sign up, get on our email list so we can send you free stuff. And once you do that, you'll be taken to a link where there's a screenshot of all the crypto that I own. If you want to see what I bought, some of you are asking me about different coins. I can't pretend to be a crypto expert. That's why I bring crypto experts in. But but I can show you what I bought. So drboycecrypto.com, and also follow me on Twitch. I'm going to be on there today. I play Call of Duty every single day. If you're into gaming and stuff, and you want to watch me murder people for a living. But then also we talk about stocks and stuff like that on the channel too. So I kind of go back and forth. Like right now we're broadcasting on Twitch. So feel free to follow there. All right. So here are a few thoughts that I'm going to give you real quick in terms of what's going on with Bitcoin. Let me read this article from CNBC. They did a good job of sort of summarizing a lot of what's going on. They said, let's see, the price of Bitcoin crossed another major milestone Friday as the cryptocurrency's market value surpassed $1 trillion, according to CoinDesk. The digital currency was trading just under 54,000 per coin Friday as it hit the new level and rose to a high of 54,880 later in the session, according to Coinmetrics. The price of Bitcoin has now gained 350% over the past 6 months. Think about this process. Imagine if you bought a house for $100,000 and 6 months later it was worth $350,000. Would that be a good day for you? Would you consider that to be a good day? Well, that's pretty much what's happening with Bitcoin. The rise is absolutely astonishing and meteoric and beautiful, and it's well worth it for those of you that that went through the storm. A lot of you were invested. How many of you were invested in Bitcoin in 2017 when the whole market just kind of fell apart? If you give me a yes in the chat if you were part of that crew. This is an image, a graphical image of what Bitcoin has done over the past few weeks. It's really been beautiful to watch. Well, here's the thing. A lot of people think that this could be another bubble, just like you had in 2017. Well, the indicators, the fundamentals are basically saying that this is not that. This ain't that. That this is not like T.I. said when T.I. was explaining that crazy, freaky stuff with him and Tiny and the ladies or whatever, which thank God, I'm glad for them that that's gone away. He said, this ain't that. This ain't that. Well, in this particular case, I'm gonna do a T.I. and tell you that this ain't that. This situation ain't that situation, because back then you had price movements based on pretty much no information. One of the key rules of investing is that when the price of an asset moves, there needs to be a reason why. And the reason can't just be like, oh, well, it's a good day. It just happened to go up. No, that's a problem. There has to be something fundamental driving this. And right now, the fundamentals are there. There are fundamentals that say that this network economy, that this market is strong enough that you're going to have more and more money pouring into it. And one of the things that drives up the value of any asset is when more money is being invested in that asset. Okay, so CNBC also says that the move has been fueled in part by increased adoption of Bitcoin by major investors and companies. The oldest bank in the United States, the Bank of New York Mellon, announced earlier this month that it's moving into the space. Elon Musk Tesla converted some of its balance sheet cash into Bitcoin earlier this year. Okay, and that's good. I mean, because Elon Musk is a trendsetter. People follow Elon Musk. Bitcoin has started, quote, pay attention. This is a good one. Listen to this. Bitcoin, quote, has started to get so big that it arguably creates its own demand, FOMO, herding effects, just like I was talking to you guys about a second ago, as companies and institutions begin to make forays into a field that they wouldn't have touched a few months previously, said Deutsche Bank research strategist Jim Reed in a note. Ironically, it is turning itself into a credible asset to many by rallying so much of late and also getting increased institutional buy-in. So institutional investors are in. It's like going from a dinghy boat to riding on a gigantic Royal Caribbean cruise ship. It's harder to sink the big ship than it is to sink the little ships. So anyway, so there's this $1 trillion market value. What else? Apple is worth about $2 trillion. If you want to know what the biggest entities are out there, pro Bitcoin investors and entrepreneurs celebrated the milestone, and they're kind of making fun of the bears on Bitcoin. But there's also a risk. Citadel Securities founder Ken Griffin said that he's not interested in cryptocurrency, while researchers at JP Morgan have said the Bitcoin rally is unsustainable. And I agree with JP Morgan. Now, pay attention now. Even though JP Morgan is saying that the Bitcoin rally is unsustainable, JP Morgan also said that they predict that Bitcoin will be worth about $146,000 by the end of 2022. So they're speaking. I wouldn't say they're speaking out of both sides of their mouth, but it's important that you take both pieces of information into consideration. They're saying the rally is unsustainable, and I agree with that. At some point, you're going to have a pullback. At some point, you're going to have profit taking. At some point, if the bus is driving so fast down the street and it's gone 30 miles down the road, somebody's going to get off the bus. Some investors are going to get off the bus. That will present opportunities for people to jump on the bus, right? So there will be a pullback at some point, even a pullback to the point that it looks almost painful, like, oh my God, I lost 10% today. So don't sort of get emotionally attached to the existing levels. But I would be stunned if every pullback isn't recovered within a few days and if Bitcoin doesn't continue its rise. So basically, one thing JP Morgan is saying, if you look deeper into what JP Morgan is saying, I think it's important to consider the risk factors in something like Bitcoin. One of the things that's extremely important, and I said this a lot in 2017, but nobody listens when they're making money. There's something about money that makes us all crazy and stupid, and like the money is stuff in our ears, and we can't hear when people are giving us constructive pieces of information that might help us hedge our risk, right? So, but I'm going to try again, just to make sure it's on the record that I'm warning you that crypto is a bad market. It can go up and down really fast. The volatility is off the chain, and you really want to be careful about sort of believing that things can only go up. Asset prices can go up and they can go down. So here's an article about JP Morgan's concerns about the Bitcoin rise. So they said that it seems that there aren't enough buyers to keep Bitcoin at record highs, according to a new note by JP Morgan. Bitcoin set another record high on Wednesday, which this article is written when it hit 51,000. Now, mind you, on Wednesday, it hit the record of 51,000. Today is Friday. I mean, on Wednesday, it hit 51,000. Today is Friday. That's $3,000 difference in price. Like, so literally you own 2 Bitcoins, you made $6,000 in 2 days. I have a cousin who just randomly tells me that he had 38 Bitcoins and didn't even know. I said, you know, that's worth about 1.6, 1.7 million, probably more by now. And he's like, oh, really? Cool. You know, like he didn't even know that, right? Because Bitcoin is moving so fast. So here's the rest. It says Bitcoin set another record, blah, 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 blah. Its year-to-date gains are nearly 80%. Now, they're saying 80% year-to-date. Year-to-date, remember, this is February. So year-to-date means just a month and a half ago. Over the course of the last year, you're talking about 350% increase in price. Let's see, they said much of the rise has been attributed to increased adoption by major companies, blah, blah, blah. The firm estimated that the market cap of Bitcoin has increased by $700 billion since the end of September, with only $11 billion of inflows from major institutions. Reasons for that divergence could include an inelastic supply of Bitcoin, increased retail buying, and speculative traders trying to front run the institutions. Boom, boom, boom. I agree. So let's talk about those pieces. Inelastic supply basically means that the supply doesn't change with the price. That basically, as the price is going up, the supply is remaining flat, which is actually one of the things that justifies the consideration of Bitcoin as digital gold. Number 2, increased retail buying. Just a lot of your Robinhood boys, just know that your Robinhood Reddit, the white boys on Reddit and Wall Street Bets and all that, they're all jumping in. They're all buying because they're trying to front run the institutions. They're like, holy crap, the institutions are buying. More institutions are coming. We're going to go ahead and jump in here so that when they start buying, the price will continue to go up. That makes perfect sense because institutions move slower than individuals. Your ability to hop into your Robinhood or your your E-Trade app is much faster and simpler than the ability of an institution to commit, $2 billion to invest in crypto. So let's see here. So moving on, it says that, quote, it suggests that after announcements from end September onwards, real money inflows during October, November, December contributed to the rally in Bitcoin prices at the time, while the movement since January of this year appear to be more influenced by speculative flows. So what they're saying, so this is where you got to be careful. This is where the pullback could take place. A lot of people are jumping in Bitcoin right now, according to JP Morgan. They're jumping in because they're shaking the bones, they're rolling the dice. They're gambling on what I was telling you about, the FOMO aspect. They're gambling on this idea that institutions are going to say, crap, we better get in on this, because if we don't, our investors will look at us like we're crazy. They're going to be like, well, why didn't you get us a piece of that money, right? So, and I think that's a good bet. But just know that even a good bet is still a bet, right? There's no such thing as complete certainty in the world of investing 99% of the time. So even if I tell you that there's a 75% chance that this bet is a good bet, remember, there's a big, fat, gigantic 25% chance that it won't work. Even in basketball, good shots don't go in all the time. So, but just because it didn't go in doesn't mean it wasn't a good shot. And that's a nuance that investors understand and regular people don't. Like a regular person who doesn't understand investing, the broke ass people in your family who tell you not to invest, they're going to say, well, you and Dr. Boyce said that Bitcoin was going to go up and it didn't go up. And that means y'all are crazy and wrong and stupid and you shouldn't be investing. No, that means that we took a good shot and the shot just didn't go in. Layups, jumpers, free throws sometimes don't go in, even when you're Michael Jordan, right? But what I want you to be prepared for is the fact that pullback could occur. And so if you want to take something off the table, or you definitely want to hedge your risk, just make sure you do that, because none of this is guaranteed. So JP Morgan is doing a favor for you. They're giving you a warning. They're also telling you that this also suggests that some pickup in real money flows would likely be needed to sustain the current prices in the absence of a reacceleration of the retail flow. What does that mean? That means basically that what you expect to happen must happen, or you're going to be disappointed. That's it. What it means is that what retail investors are expecting is they're saying, look, we're going to run out front. We're going to be the infantry. We're going to run into the charge into the battlefield because we believe the cavalry's coming. And if the cavalry don't show up, then a lot of us are going to get our head chopped off. Do you follow what I'm saying? Give me a yes in the chat if you follow what I'm saying, right? I believe the cavalry's coming. I really do. I believe that every day I wake up and I say a prayer to white Jesus, black Jesus, and baby Jesus. I want to cover all three sources. And I say, dear Lord, please have me see a headline that says that some major institutional investor, BlackRock or somebody else, has invested another $2 billion, $3 billion, $5 billion in Bitcoin. If that happens, you're going to see the price go kaboom. You're going to see the price go up because everything you're expecting to happen will have happened. I believe it's going to happen. So that's my view. But again, people can be wrong. I'm not saying that I'm 100% correct, but I am going to say that, again, my prediction for Bitcoin by the end of the year is $108,718.32. So record this video, write that number down, and on January 31st, we're going to have a New Year's party, maybe on my Twitch channel. Follow me on Twitch at Dr. Boyce Watkins, and we will see how close my prediction is to the actual price. What I really honestly believe could happen is I believe I could be way off, because my number could end up being extremely, extremely low. Because remember, if Bitcoin continues to grow at the rate that it's been growing since the start of the year, they're going to blow that number out of the water. It's going to be way beyond 108,000, because 49% in a month is astronomical. So congratulations to those of you who are investing. I'm really happy for you. This is a good day for you. So I hope that you have a lot of good days in the future. All right, so I'm going to get out of here. By the way, we talk about stock options. I have an options investing masterclass, and if you want to go take a look, so feel free to go to blackoptionsinvesting.com, or you can go to stockoptionsmasterclass.com. And also, if you want to see my crypto portfolio, once again, you can go to drboycecrypto.com. And in the Black Wealth Bootcamp this week, we're having the gentlemen of crypto come through, and they're going to actually talk about how to get started with crypto investing, so you can ask them a bunch of questions, stuff like that. We meet every Thursday night, and the URL is blackwealthbootcamp.com. So hit the thumbs up button, share button, subscribe button. I'm out of here. Actually, I'm going to go to my Twitch right now, actually, in the next 20 minutes and play some Call of Duty. So I'm going to go take a little break. So have a good day. I'm glad you're making money. Keep getting paid. Keep being smart. And I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Peace.